Hey, welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Farah, aka Dr. Laurent. Welcome today. I want to talk about the reason why you should be building a brand as a nurse, whether you're interested in advancing your professional career or you're interested in starting a business or growing your business. And really the importance of building that brand. For those who don't know me, my name is Farah. I've been a nurse for over 20 years. Started out in emergency medicine, fast forwarded to education, held multiple roles in leadership as well. And what I do is I help nurses level up in their career and land their dream job in less than 90 days. I also help nurses build their brand, become more visible to start their business and to help them find more clarity in their business. So, if you don't know, I'm going to be hosting my own conference March 8th. That's next Saturday, a full day conference in Tampa, Florida. And that's right, it's called Nurses Making Money Moves Conference. And that's March 8th, uh, in person in Tampa, Florida. I just recently moved to the Tampa Bay area. So I decided that I wanted to host this conference because I've been thinking about it for about 2 years, but finally took it to execution, from idea to execution, literally in 6 days. And the idea started in December. And I said, I'm going to go for it, follow my gut, because so many nurses have been asking me to create something where we can have a place, a community where we can learn and strategize, collaborate, partner, and learn from each other. So I'm going to bring speakers from all over the US and Canada, not just nurses, but also female professionals that are crushing it in their industry, in their respective area of genius. Speaking in the speaking realm, we have Precious L. Williams, who's a pitch master. We'll talk about how to be more confident, whether you're pitching interviews or in your business. We also have marketing experts, sales experts, personal stylist that'll talk about the importance of personal branding, using your style, whether it's in your career or in your business. So, multiple speakers, like I said. I'm going to share the link if you're interested to go. You can just go on Eventbrite, type in Nurses Making Money Moves Conference, Tampa, March 8th. You'll see it pop up and you can join us in person. But let's say you can't physically attend, but you still don't want to miss out on this great full day conference that, by the way, you'll get CEUs for continuing education credits. You can join us virtually. So I'll have that link for you as well. So you can join us live while the conference is actually happening. So I'll drop those links and then you can direct message me if you're interested to learn more. So if you happen to be watching right now, let me know where you're watching from, what city, what country. Drop any comments or questions that you may have. And we're going to get into it today and talk about the importance of building a brand. And I'm going to give you 5 tips on how you can build your own personal brand and why it's important. So, So as a nurse, you may think, I don't need a brand. Why do I need a brand? I don't have a particular business, right? You don't necessarily have to want to start a side hustle or have a business to grow your brand or have a personal brand. It may be that maybe you want to pivot in your career, you want to go into a leadership position or an education position. So it's important to build a personal brand. So really, what is a personal brand? There's very many different definitions of what a personal brand is, but truly what it is, in summary, is it's basically your reputation, right? What do people think about when they think about you? And what do they feel when they think about you? And what do they associate you with? So basically, what is your purpose? What is your impact? What it is that you do? And why should they pay attention to you, type thing, right? And when you come to mind, what type of values do you represent? And what type of traits do they associate you with? So, are you enthusiastic? Are you positive? You bring a lot of energy. Whatever that is, it's your brand. So it's a little bit different than big companies like Coca-Cola or Nike or Adidas or Apple. But what it is you're building a community of people or your tribe that will follow you, that know who you are, that know what you do, that like you, and that trust you. So that the essence of your brand is essentially trust. So if people trust you, they know that you're credible in what you do and that you stand in your integrity and your values, whatever it is that you're trying to promote, whether it's a product or a service or a business, or you're trying to grow in your career, more opportunities are going to come to you because people trust you. And that's essentially what a brand is. And that's why you should build a brand. So before you go write a book, before you want to go start a podcast, before you want to be a speaker, whatever it is, if you don't have a brand, if you're not visible and people do not know you, it's going to be very hard to sell that book. It's going to be very hard to get speaking opportunities or whatever it is that you're trying to do. So let's get into the 5 steps of how you can build your personal brand. Number 1, define your unique value proposition, right? So what does that mean? What is your unique value proposition? So basically, what value do you bring and what makes you different? What makes you different than everybody else and what makes you memorable, right? So in essence, again, it goes back to your purpose, your why, and your messaging, right? What message do you want to bring out there and what is it that you're representing? So for me, I started building my personal brand about 4 years ago here on LinkedIn. I had a LinkedIn for years and years, but I only used it to really look for jobs, and I would just go on once in a while. But when I started my nurse career coaching business about 4 years ago, I realized from doing research and marketing and sales and things like that, that it was important to build a brand because in business, they talk about the know, like, and trust factor. If nobody knows about you, they're not going to decide whether they like you or not because they don't know about you. And then they don't know about your business. So they're not going to be able to trust you. And people do business with other people because they trust them. Think about, if you want to buy a product or something, or if you want to go to a restaurant or whatever it is, you're always looking at other reviews, what other people are saying. And you might call up a friend and say, hey, do you know a makeup artist or do you know a hairstylist that's really good? Because you're going to trust a friend. So same in business, you need to be able to build that trust. And same thing in your professional career as a nurse, right? Um, People need to trust you to promote you to next level positions in leadership or in education. So same thing. So number 1, to build a brand, I would say what do you define and what makes you different is your value proposition, right? So for me, I help new graduate nurses land their dream job in 90 days. And I don't just help them with the technical resumes and cover letters and things like that, right? I take my clients through a transformation. We walk through mindset, help them with confidence and clarity so that they're really clear on their next steps and provide them with strategies that help them really stand out. And we work on their personal brand. Yes, we could craft a resume and a cover letter that stands out, but we go beyond that, right? And I really dig into what it is, what type of lifestyle that they really want to live and get that clear. Because a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll focus on their career or their business, and then they don't really define what they want their home or lifestyle to look like. So if you're just joining me, I'm talking about the 5 steps that you can build your personal brand to become more visible, that will help you grow professionally in your career, and that'll help you grow in your business. You need to establish a personal brand. So number 1 was define your unique value proposition. You really need to articulate what makes you different and really demonstrate it in terms of what it is that you're doing. So demonstrating your thought leadership, that type of stuff, what makes you different. Number 2 is to be consistent across all platforms. So if you're not currently on social media, you need to be on social media. So in the age of, AI and everything that's going on with AI, yes, You can do things in person, but people need to see you everywhere. You need to build a digital footprint, right? So when someone Googles your name, you need to you need to be everywhere because you need to be top of mind. So if you're writing articles, you can write your own articles, you can write blogs, or you can actually have publications in nursing journals. Now, if you have a publication in a nursing journal, people are going to say, wow, like this person is credible, and they're going to trust you more, right? If you're writing articles consistently, if you show up like I'm showing up here live on LinkedIn, constantly sharing information and knowledge, people are going to pay attention. So I choose LinkedIn because it's the most trusted platform, professional platform. But I recommend that if you want to be more visible, you should start at least on one platform, potentially two platforms. So wherever you think your clientele, if you have a business or you want to start a business, where the majority of your clientele is going to be, that's where you should be in terms of social media platforms. However, I think everybody should be on LinkedIn because it's the most trusted platform, the most professional, and that's where people make decisions in terms of whether it's in getting jobs or business. So in business we say B2B, business to business, or B2C, which is business to consumer. So shout out to Josie. She is actually going to be at the conference in Tampa. So I can't wait to meet you in person, Josie. Thank you for joining. Um, so basically, I would strongly recommend LinkedIn as one of your platforms, and then pick somewhere else where most of your potential customers will be. And for careers, if you're trying to level up your career, definitely LinkedIn is number one because it's pretty much more important than your resume, because 95% of recruiters will look you up on LinkedIn before they ask you for an interview or before you're going for the interview. That's why I say consistently be on LinkedIn. And this is where I started. Like I said, as I was finishing up my previous thought, when I first started on LinkedIn, I didn't even have a profile photo. And then what I did, I was intentional when I first started my business. I said, wow, I need to be more visible and I need to share my message out there for nursing students and new grads that want to land their dream job in their specialty. Because I got a job in the emergency department as a nursing student, even though I was told I'd never be an ER nurse, and I wanted to help them out. So I started giving this valuable information out for free and creating content. And that's how people started being attracted to me. And I was starting to get more clients, and I was seeing more of a industry expert and authority on LinkedIn. So people know me as Farah, the nurse career coach who helps nursing students and new grads land their dream job. You want to be known for something. That's another thing. You don't want to be doing too many things in the beginning. You want to be clearly known for something. So for me, it's being a nurse career coach for new graduate nurses, and I help them land their dream jobs in less than 90 days. So that's kind of like my value proposition, you would say, right? Number two, we talked about being consistent across platforms if you want to build a personal brand. And what does consistency look like, right? So for me, I'm consistent in terms of posting and going live on video like this every week. And I've been doing that for almost 4 years. Every single week. Creating content, I would say consistently at least 3 to 5 times a week, sometimes 7 days a week. And posting on LinkedIn typically 1 to 3 times a day on average. That's what I mean about consistency. And that's just on one platform. So if you watch other marketing experts like Gary Vee and Layla and Alex Hermosi, who are millionaires, right? They talk about having a lot of quantity and also a lot of valuable content across platforms. They call it omni-channel, basically being everywhere. Back to that, creating that digital footprint and really being visible everywhere so that you can be known as the expert in your area, in your industry. Okay. And that's how you build a strong personal brand. So, number one is define the value proposition. Number two, be consistent across all platforms. And then number three, invalid user code. Please re-enter a valid user code. System is now disarmed. Remote arm stay. So consistent across the platforms, like I said, it builds a visual identity. You have to make sure that your messaging is consistent and clear and that your audience knows who you are. And then number 3, create valuable content, like I touched upon just recently, in different formats. So that could be creating videos, going live, like I'm going live right now, posting written posts, doing polls, sharing behind the scenes content. Let's say maybe you're doing a podcast. You might want to share like the behind the scenes of how you do your podcast. And then really sharing your experiences and sharing your knowledge is really, I would say, number 3, creating valuable content. And that goes along with creating, writing, maybe writing a book, that type of stuff. All right. And then number 4, I would say leverage social media. So not only are you creating content, but you can also engage with other social media influencers, other people that are creating content on LinkedIn. So maybe if you don't have a podcast yourself, what you could do is go on other people's podcasts and really collaborate that way so that you could be seen across multiple podcasts. So you could share your thought leadership and things like that. Also engage with other people's content because that will help increase your visibility if you're constantly on other people's feeds or, celebrating other people, highlighting other individuals as well. And that will also help with your credibility and then brand lift. So who you associate yourself in the industry, that can also help elevate your personal brand. So that's number 4. And then number 5 would be to network and collaborate, both online and both in person. So whether you're networking in person at different events, conferences, things like that, or you could collaborate. During a podcast or during a live, or maybe even doing things like publications. You can co-author articles and things like that. So you can collaborate in different ways. So again, to recap, the 5 ways that you can build your own personal brand. Number 1 is to define your unique value proposition. What makes you different? Number 2, be consistent across the platforms. So I would say choose at least LinkedIn as your main platform and then choose a second platform where you can share all your information. Number 3 is to create valuable content in multiple forms. So whether that's video, lives, posts, polls, and then sharing behind the scenes footage, whether it's like a podcast or at conferences, maybe you're exhibiting. That helps with social proof. And then number 4, like I said, leverage social media, engage with other content. And then number 5, network and collaborate. So those are really 5 easy ways that you can start building your personal brand. And it's important to start now before you get into whatever it is that you want to go into. So a lot of nurses might say, hey, I want to be an author or I want to be a speaker, but they're not really building their personal brand. And then their book comes out and nobody might even know who they are, where to get the book. So you really need to be top of mind and kind of be across all channels, and also go to different events and promote and market early on. So I would say if you have a book coming out, you probably should be marketing it at least 6 months to a year in advance. So, doing different things like that. And then you can also consult with different experts in the marketing space, depending on what it is, and kind of reverse engineer what it is that you're trying to do. So I hope that was helpful. I'm going to share more content about personal branding and how to be more visible in 2025. And this is the actual topic that I'll be covering at the Nurses Making Money Moves conference next week, March 8th in Tampa. So if you are interested in getting your ticket, there are still tickets left, only a couple tickets left. You can go on Eventbrite, type in Nurses Making Money Moves conference, hit Tampa and you'll be able to purchase your ticket, or you could just direct message me if you're not sure how to get it. And then I'll also share the link after this that you can go on. If you can't make it in person, there is a virtual live stream option, and I'll share that link as well so you can get your virtual access. The actual day will be Saturday, and it'll start at 9 o'clock. So you'll have virtual access and actually see the conference live. So that's it for me today. I will try to come on tomorrow and share more information about the conference and give you updates. And then Josie says, get your tickets, people. Yes, thank you, Josie. I appreciate it. I can't wait to see you next week. She's coming all the way from New York. So thank you for that. Thanks for the support. And I hope this was helpful. Please put any questions, comments, or concerns you may have on there, and I'll go back and look at them and answer them. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and my podcast, The Nursing Dose with Farah, on Spotify and on YouTube as well. All right. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.